Hi guys, welcome back. It's been a little while, so I thought I'd start off by showing you what we've been up to. So this is a section of woods that was marked off by the forestry technician, and we've done pretty well, but you can see there's still a few, I don't know if you can see them, but there's a few trees that still have their spray paint markings that need to be removed. I know this looks bad, but this is actually what we call a rub tree. It's a tree that we intend to cut down, but we leave standing while we're working, usually at a place where the skidder trail turns, in order to protect the trees in that corner from the logs that the skidder is hauling when it's making a turn. So the logs will rub up against the rub tree, and when we're done, we'll cut that tree down, and the trees behind it will have been protected. And the idea here was to conserve mostly the maples and a few others, but we've already can see how nice and clear it looks now. You can see how that leaves so much more space for these trees to get more light and nutrients and get bigger. Makes a nice bright clear forest. So this part has been done. In French, the word for removing the little scraggly trees is called the sarclage, and I've been trying to find the word in English, and the closest I can come up with is weeding. So we basically remove the smaller, the weed trees that don't really get big and just take up space and nutrients so that the other trees can't thrive. So my task for today is tackling this section right here. You can see how dense it is. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is removing what we call moosewood, but it's kind of a nickname for a Pennsylvania maple, like these. So they never get particularly big, they just get tall and whippy, like that guy over there. They're pretty easy to identify. The leaves can be particularly huge, and they look like if you tried to draw a maple leaf but only had a vague idea of what a maple leaf looked like. I found the perfect spot for comparison. See the Pennsylvania maple? See the actual maple. It's like so much more pointy. So I'll be removing all of those from this section, and probably a lot of the pines and spruce, but I'm going to try and keep some just for variety. But you can see how densely packed they are. So by removing some will help the other ones thrive. Another aspect of the whole weeding and cleaning process is removing the dead trees. Mostly if they're rotted, we just leave them to decompose and become food for the other trees. But if they're still sound, we'll be able to haul them out for either the sawmill or firewood. And we have a few beech trees on the property, but all of them are they're diseased. I can't remember what the name of the particular disease is, but they look like all lumpy. Hold on, I'll show you one. Here is a beech tree. This one is clearly dead, so we'll have to remove that. But you see how the bark gets kind of weird and textured and lumpy. And pretty much all of them are in this state, already dead. Some of them have a couple leaves left, but they're not long for this world. So if we can cut them while they're still good enough for the sawmill or for firewood at least, then all the better. Otherwise, we'll cut them down just so they're not a hazard and leave them to decompose. Here's a particularly large beech tree that was marked for cutting, and it was sick and dead. And you can see when it hit the ground, it just shattered. So the wood's not even sound anymore. We leave that there to become other tree food. Yeah, so that's my project for today. This whole section back here. Don't know if we'll finish it today, but we'll do our best. Do you hear the saw? You're always going to hear saws in my videos. It's just how it is. So I'm about to get started here, but you guys know by now the first thing I like to do is walk the area that I'm going to be cutting before I have my saw on and making noise, so I can hear if there's any bees or wasps, and also have a look around, make sure there's no hung up dead branches that could fall on me. So plus it's a nice little walk in the woods, so any chance you get for a walk in the woods, you should take it. Actually getting started is really the hardest part for me. I can easily feel overwhelmed by the task ahead, and that overwhelm tends to paralyze me a little bit. When that happens, for me the best thing is to just pick a tree and get started, and then the plan kind of forms afterwards. So it's super hot, which feels like it makes for slow going, but it's actually going pretty well. I think I said pine trees earlier when I spoke about the area that I was cutting. There are no pine trees here. They are fir trees, which in French are sapin, and a pine in French is a pin, and a spruce in French is an épinette. So they get confused in my brain sometimes. So they are fir and spruce. There are no pine here. Back to work. Ta-da! Mission accomplished. I've cut all of the moosewood and most of the fir trees that I set out to cut this morning. So hopefully you guys can see that it's much clearer and see the sun's coming through much better than it was earlier. This will make it easier as well for us when we come in to finish cutting the trees that have their orange markers from the forestry technician. So looking forward to that. It's a pretty good day. It's been really hot and the mosquitoes have not let up. So I am ready to go jump in the lake. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you again soon. Take care, guys. Bye. Psst, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give us a like. like and a subscribe.